The sea was calm, but the tension on MV Tuyên Viên Vietnam was palpable. Captain Crewvn stood at the helm, his eyes focused on the horizon as the ship cut through the dark waters. With third mate Long at his side, the two were preparing for an important maneuver. Tonight, it wasn't just about navigating through the calm sea. Captain Crewvn knew there was a narrow stretch ahead, and they were going to need a pilot to guide them safely. But there was a twist. An unforeseen storm had started brewing, and the pilot was going to need every bit of the vessel's engine power to make it through safely. Long, let's check the propulsion system. We need to know exactly how long it will take to change engines from a head to a stern. It's important in case we need to react quickly. Long kiem tra la hi thong dong ko di, chung de kan bia chin zak mat bao lao de chuyen dong ko tu tien sang lui. Quan trong lam de, nu chung te kan phai han dong nan chong. Third mate Long quickly scanned the engine room status and replied with precision. They had a twin propeller system, which meant that they had the flexibility to maneuver quickly. Captain, the engine room is manned, and we have a controllable pitch propeller. It takes about 15 seconds to change from a head to a stern. Tuyen Truong, Fong Mei Koen Guoi, Va Chung Ta Ko Chan Vit Dio Kien Duok Gok, Mat Kuang Moi Lam Giai de Chuyen Dong Ko Tu Tien Sang Lui. Captain Crewvn nodded, honestly impressed by Long's quick assessment. But you know, the storm ahead wasn't going to wait for anyone. The pilot had confirmed his arrival at 0200 UTC, and the ship needed to be perfectly positioned to enter the harbor. Every single second counted. Captain Crewvn spoke up. All right, Long, let's make sure we have full control. We need the extra power in case we need to make sudden adjustments. Can we rely on the additional power? Then, switching to Vietnamese, he added Duoc Roy Long Dam Bao La Chung Ta Kiem Sot Hoan Tuan, Can Phi Ko Kong Swat Toi Da Fong Truong Hop Can Dio Chin Dot Ngot, Chung Ta Ko the Dua Vao Kong Swat Du Fong Chu. Third mate Long confirmed that the extra power was available. The ship was, well, ready for whatever the storm could throw at them. But now, there was another question that needed an answer. How much time would it take to start the engines from a complete stop? Third mate Long replied, Captain, it takes about 10 seconds to start the engines from stop. And then, in Vietnamese, Thuyen Truong Mat Quang Moi Jai De Koi Dong Dong Ko Tu Trang Tai Dung. The clock was ticking, and with the storm clouds growing darker, Captain Crewvn knew they had to be ready for anything. The pilot would need to board the ship soon, and the maneuver had to be precise. With third mate Long at the helm, everything was, honestly, lining up for a smooth operation. Captain Crewvn encouraged, Good job, Long, we'll make this maneuver safely. Stay sharp, the pilot's on his way, keep everything in check. In Vietnamese, he said, Lam tot lam, Long, chung ta se lam viek ne mot kachen toan, kan dan de hoa tu sap toi roy, yu moi du trong tam kiem sot. As the MV Thuyen Vien Vietnam drew closer to the harbor entrance, the winds picked up, howling like wolves in the night. The ship's controllable pitch propeller adjusted with the slightest touch, allowing for precise movements. The storm had arrived, but Captain Crewvn and third mate Long were ready. The pilot boarded swiftly at 0200 UTC, and with a steady hand on the wheel, Captain Crewvn expertly guided the ship into the narrow channel. Pilot on board, let's move ahead, full ahead, both engines. Hoa tiu len tao. Beijio chungta di tiep tat kadonko het tak do. As they glided through the waves, the storm howled in the distance, but they had passed the most challenging part of the journey. The pilot guided them safely to port, and the storm faded into the distance. Captain Crewvn smiled as the MV Thuyen Vien Vietnam docked safely. They had done it. The teamwork, the precision, and the trust in their equipment had made all the difference. Well done, Long. A smooth operation. This is how we get things done. Lam tot lam long, ma tao tak troi che, de la kach chung ta la moitha. As the ship settled at the dock, Captain Crewvn couldn't help but think about how important proper crew coordination was. It was about more than just the equipment. It was about the people. The team who trusted one another and executed every maneuver with precision. And as the MV Thuyen Vien Vietnam prepared for its next journey, Captain Crewvn knew one thing for sure. For the best maritime operations, there was always Crewvn by their side, ensuring everything ran smoothly. Crewvn made the difference, one step, one procedure at a time. For maritime professionals seeking seamless coordination, the best crew and top-notch maritime support, Crewvn was the place to be. Contact Crewvn, Miss Thu at 03-268-06954, Miss Ngok at 094-1113-080, Miss Huang An at 0779-268-188 or Zalo Chung at 0904515857. Visit Crewvn today and take your maritime operations to the next level.